Good evening, everybody. Can everybody in back hear me okay? Okay, good. Thank you for coming out tonight. I know everybody's starting to get in the holiday mood and time is pretty important, so I appreciate seeing how many people we have tonight. And I see some fresh faces, so that's always a good thing. I am Mike Fettig. I am the president of the CPNA for now. We'll be voting in a little bit, so. One favor I have to ask is I will be walking around with another microphone. If you have questions, please just raise your hand. It's really important that we use that microphone so the people on Facebook Live, how you doing, can hear the question. Otherwise, they don't really get as much out of this as I want them to. So raise your hand, I'll run over, I'll hand you the mic, and that'll help everybody. Thanks to Publix, we do have some refreshments tonight. We have cold water, a few room temperature water, and some goodies. I forgot the veggie tray. I know looking at me, you can't believe that I would have forgotten it, but I did, sorry. That being said, I'm gonna hold most of my announcements for later. The good news is we only have two very good speakers, but also probably very short. And then we can mingle and talk and meet each other after we vote. So I am going to call up the first speaker. He's the president of the College Park Historical Society, a very long time CPNA member and a past president, and our favorite crossing guard. So Bill Jennings, can you step up here?
Okay, I'm going to have to get through this. It is with sadness that I share with you the passing of one of the great people of College Park, Grace Hagedorn. Grace passed away this couple weeks ago on November the 13th. For those who do not know her, Grace was part of the Neighborhood Association when it was being formed in 1987. The first leader of the historic committee was Joe Boyd, and then Grace stepped up and they changed that to the historical committee. The committee was meeting in various historical homes, and the idea was raised that they should take and open up these homes as a benefit of CPNA membership. This was the start of what you all know as the Historic Homes Tour. The first tour was in 1991, and under Grace's leadership, there were 21 more tours after that. Grace, working with Jody Rubin, Tana Porter, and others, researched and wrote descriptions of the historic houses. On tour day, Grace, along with her husband Fred, who passed away a couple of years ago, were out early, distributing signs, setting tables, making sure everything was set for the visitors. And on more than one occasion, Grace and Fred opened their house for the after party. Grace moved to Orlando after working as a reporter in New Jersey for her husband's employment. Grace told Fred, "We can move, but I want a historic house." Recently, after many hours of research, the house that she lives in at 1000 Cordova was listed on the National Register of Historic Homes. Grace was a Fulbright scholar and spent part of her college years in Austria. When the College Park Historical Society was formed a couple of years ago, Grace was there from the beginning, Though Grace was not in good health, it was only a couple of months ago that she made sure she was at the meeting. She could hardly walk, but she was at the meeting. Grace spent many hours working on the paperwork for the historic markers at Lake Ivanhoe, Lake Concord, and Rosemere, and Lake Adair. Those of us from the society kept pushing to have the markers erected before Grace passed away, and I acknowledge the efforts of Commissioner Stewart in his desire to see those markers erected. And it was a good day when we were down at Lake Ivanhoe with Grace, and Mayor Dyer pulled the covering off the markers, and Grace was able to see those markers erected. On a personal note, Grace was my friend, and she was the one who encouraged me to form the Historical Society. When we got together, first question Grace would ask me, well, how are your boys? I will miss sitting and talking with Grace about the history of College Park. Grace was a member of the Neighborhood Association for 37 years. Grace will be missed by her family. She will be missed by the Neighborhood Association and the Historical Society. And Grace will be missed by the College Park community. Grace was preceded in death by her husband, Fred, and a daughter, Catherine. Grace Hagedorn, rest in peace. You were special. As a member of the association at this general membership meeting, I would like to make the following recommendation: that it be recorded in the minutes of this meeting, and I quote, "The College Park Neighborhood Association acknowledges the contributions of Grace Hagedorn made to the association through her tireless efforts to document and share the history of College Park. Her 37-year membership is a testimony to her dedication to the community. The association extends their condolences to her family and friends. May Grace rest in peace, thou good and faithful servant." And I move that this be included in the minutes. If there is a second, Michael can carry the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay. Michael, you want to carry the motion?
Right then. And all in favor, raise your hand so I can see. Ow. Hmm? Well, anybody on the CPNA, to keep it correct. So.
This is a general membership meeting. Every one of you can vote in the general membership meeting.
If you're a member.
Huh?
If you're a member.
Yeah, if you're a member, I guess. What's the
Okay.
vote?
It passes. Thank you.
And I want to thank you, and it's been tough. Thank you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
No. That's the resolution.
Actually, I know who's coming next. I don't know why I need my cheat sheet. Thank you, Bill. I know that wasn't easy to do, but I think you were best to put that in words, so I appreciate that. Commissioner Stewart, I understand there's dinner waiting for you, so come on up.
Yeah, I skipped lunch, so I got dinner waiting for me. Hey, first of all, Bill, thank you for that. Grace is a good friend. And I don't want to imitate her, but it's the same way with me. It was, how's your family? And she would do it in her wonderful kind of a drawl, and I will miss hearing that. Bill's right. Several years ago, almost 4 years ago, I shouldn't say that, about 12 years ago, we designated 3 areas in College Park as historical register areas. They don't have anything to do with zoning or regulations, but they're designated by the state of Florida. And so we designated them, and so about 4 years ago, somebody said, well, why in the world don't we have a marker there? Let's go get a marker. So Grace and Tana wrote the text, and we worked like crazy to make sure we had those here before Grace's passing. We got 2 out of the 3. The other one is still in production. Part of the challenge is the approval process with the state of Florida. It takes a sponsor, and then it takes a year, then the wording has to be approved, and it has to be approved again, and then it goes to a foundry, and it gets set in the foundry, and that takes another 8 or 9 months to a year. So it took us a while, but we got this done about 5 or 6 months ago, and I wanted to do that for Grace because it was important to Grace. Real quickly, a couple of things share with you. The hurricane response, I want to tell you how much I appreciate our public works guys and the work that they've done. We said when the hurricane hit, when Milton hit, it'd take about 6 weeks to get the stuff cleared out of the roads in the city of Orlando. And it took 6 weeks to the day. Almost everything is gone. If as I've said before, if you have anything in front of your house that's not picked up, please call and let us know. There's probably a reason why, and the most common reason why is that when the debris guy came through, there was a car there. And the debris guy is not going to go pick up the debris with a car, running the risk of damaging a car. Or it needs a claw truck, and the claw truck tends to be underneath a power line. So the claw truck's not going to come in and pick it up in the power line. So we got to do some things that are different. So please let us know, and we'll get those to you. You can go to the solid waste website. If you go in orlando.gov/Milton, you'll go right to hurricane relief and tag on there, and we'll take care of that for you. So I want to make sure you got that. But I appreciate y'all's patience. Unfortunately, how things worked out, College Park was one of the last areas to get picked up. And so they worked on it in the last 2 weeks in getting that done. So it was a little bit frustrating because in Irma, we were the first ones that got it. So now we got the whole city done in 6 weeks. I heard from the county that the county's really working hard and hope to have theirs done by the end of the year. So I'm happy with what's happening with us. A couple of things coming up, so y'all have what's going on. Holiday on the Drive is this Thursday night. The College Park Main Street's there. We lit the Christmas tree last, I guess, Saturday night, but there wasn't a big enough crowd to do it to worry about. So we're going to do it again. So come at 5:30. We're going to light the tree at 5:30 on Thursday night, and they're going to close the street off. Come get a chance to see Santa Claus and do some shopping. That's the main reason why we've always done Holiday on the Drive. The city Christmas tree lighting is Friday, so again, a chance to get downtown to see all the lights are out throughout Lake Eola except the tree itself. So please come down and enjoy it. It's a great walk around, and this weather makes it just wonderful. Our Family Parks and Rec is doing their Winter Fest. I'm not sure if you're familiar with some of you guys, maybe some kids that are through our the College Park Center. It's a winter performance. Our school program does a lot of things, and one of the things they do is they give a project, and it tends to be some type of performance, and so they gather the guys to do it, the kids to do it, and they work on that in the afternoon, so they don't just babysit the kids, they have a project. And so that's going to be on the 11th at 6:30. It's dance performances, and usually in each one of the groups, about 60-70-80% of the kids in each neighborhood center actually participate. So you get a chance to come down, please come down. There's no charge for it, and the information's on my website. And if you hadn't had a chance to get over to Lou Gardens yet, dazzling lights are up there. I got a chance to go last night actually, and it really was neat. The, you know, Cole Smith does a great job with that, but it has been a real challenge and a lot of labor of love because they opened up the event for Halloween, and then 3 days later Milton hit. So we got through Halloween and had to do the same thing all over again and had a rainstorm between Halloween and setting up for Christmas. And so we finally got Christmas set up last week and opened up, I guess, on last Wednesday, and it'll run through like January 6th. So you get a chance, please get over there. I want to say it's $29 or $30 and then same cost for parking. Huh? 35. Yeah. So it's worth it to get a chance to go see the park at night. It's really great. Outside of all that, that's all I really have in terms of notes. Unless you guys have some questions, I'll be glad to answer any questions y'all may have.
I think I have the mic.
No, you don't have to have the mic. You can yell. You can talk about the.
Robert, this solid waste, the house is right next to there at Princeton and Harrison where I parked my car. They had a note on their solid waste that said, because this is mixed, we can't pick it up.
Right.
And it's still there. And as I ride around, I see that a lot of the stuff that's not picked up is mixed. What's your plans for that stuff?
Our own crews will get those eventually. When it's not mixed, debris haulers can pick it up. We have found that over time, we have a lot of guys who cut trees and decide they were going to just take the trees in the backyard after they trimmed them and move the stuff to the street. And I'd love to catch all those guys, but we'll eventually get to them. The main thing is just ask them to call and give us the address, and we'll eventually get to it. Like I said, most of those occasions are either that can't get to it, but if it's a mixed, usually we'll have to get to it with our own guys as opposed to debris. Debris can only pick up things that are mixed, and they don't go rummaging through it to find out what's natural and what's not.
Yeah, I think people need to be aware what the problem is.
Yeah.
It is, the reason isn't picked up.
The main thing is, if you haven't been picked up, call us. There's a reason. We'll eventually get to it. Yes, sir.
I'd like to.
Got to use the microphone. Although I know you can yell. So you got.
I'll bring the mic. It's okay. Good evening, Commissioners. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
See you everywhere. Parade was the best. Anyway, just a couple ideas. These are not really issues, just thoughts I'd like to bring up. Celebrating almost 5.5 years here in College Park. Love it. I'll live here the rest of my life. Think about being buried in my home. I never want to leave College Park.
Greenwood Cemetery is a good choice. Buy your plot.
Permit for that. I'm curious, we live on what they refer to as the A side, the Lake Adair side. And, we have a lot of guests and visitors, and recently a couple of friends lost their transmissions driving around our streets. The bricks are just almost unbearable to a point where seems like it causes damage. So I'm just curious about that because we were just, we watched that big project on the Lake Ivanhoe side, which is beautiful. They repaired all those bricks, and I realized it was sewer, underground work as well. So I'm curious, and I'm just bringing that part up about, brick repair on that side of College Park. And then the other thing that came up recently, just in a conversation, the Jack Kerouac home. Has there been any conversation about preservation or making that more of a historical, because it's got so much significance in our communities? That's just a couple of issues.
Yeah. It's already listed, historical, and already got a marker there, and it's got a separate society that runs it. So it's not run by the city, it's not a city park, so it's all private. Back to your other question, bricks are a mixed blessing because they slow people down. So we put, I've told this story many times, but back when I was a kid, all of a sudden the city started paving all the roads in Orlando. And my dad's father was a bricklayer, a brick mason up in Scriven County, Georgia. And I said, Dad, why are they doing this? This doesn't make any sense. He goes, well, it's a pretty good base, son, but the main reason is the guy died. I went, what are you talking about? He goes, the guy that does all the repair died, and they haven't got anybody who knows how to do this. I went, well, okay, fine. Well, 20 to 30 years later, all of a sudden, there's a whole movement to take up the asphalt and put the brick back down. The latest figures that we saw to do all the repair work of all the roads in the city comes to about $240 million of money we need to do that, and we're doing about $6 million a year. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that people don't want to be taxed more. So we've just now gotten another $2 million to do it. We took a good example around Lake Adair, not Westmoreland, but around Lake Adair. About 3 years ago, we took some separate money and bonded it independently and did the lake itself. When you go to Lake Ivanhoe, the challenge of Lake Ivanhoe is that's another project that's done by stormwater or done by sewer, and they cover the cost of having to do that. So when you go to just regular old road repair, you have to go through a different funding source to accomplish that, and we just don't have enough money to accomplish that. But we had the same issue with Marks, and it's really these older neighborhoods that have brick, because what is it? You know, it sounds terrible. These are things that you learn as a commissioner that you don't want to have to know. The brick roads were never designed to carry the amount of traffic that we have. They're all sand-based, and so what occurs is as you run across them, they become uneven. And so people want them to be smooth, but they don't want people to speed. Bumpy brick roads slow people down. So if you, so I think the main thing is just give us a couple of areas you've got. We've gone through the list about 4 or 5 years ago. If there's particular areas we're looking at, but I know that I drive Westmoreland, I would say almost every other day, and I drive Marks, and I drive those major areas where there is a lot of traffic that really needs to slow down, but not have to worry about front end transmission. I remember Bob at Texaco used to tell me, I said, "Bob, how do you like these speed bumps?" And he goes, I hate them, but I love them. I said, why? I used to do a front end alignment once a week. Now I do 2 a day. I went, okay. So there is a mixed blessing that's there. But let us know. We've doubled the maintenance cost. We're going to try and continue to keep up as best we can. And that was part of the reason why we wanted to do this transportation tax a long time ago, because we were taking 30 million of that and put it into an escrow to be able to use and start to get through it. So it's going to take time to do it. So the easiest way to do is pave it, and we pave it, people hate it. So, question? Oh, hello, how are you? Good to see you, sir.
Good evening, Commissioner. Just recently, they picked up all the bricks to the entrance at the Lake Fairview Park where the Edgewater Roadhouse is. I'm just wondering what's going on there.
I have no idea. I saw it. I drove by.
Is there anywhere online that I can go? Because I mean, it's completely gone. Everything's gone in the front. So now we have to drive over the curb. And
I think they're working on the road. They were doing a lot of work in the outside the fence.
Yeah.
On the right hand side, and they moved everybody to drive through on the other side.
Right.
So I think it's just some road repair underneath it.
Okay, because I mean, all the bricks are gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they'll come back.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah,
If
those will
they're
come-
going to pave it or not. Or
No,
something.
no, those will come back.
All right, thanks.
Those will come back. We'll restore the road. One of the rules that we have, I guess I call it, but it's probably more of a policy, is that if there's a brick road or a brick underneath the asphalt, if we work on the road, we restore the brick. And that is a kind of a mixed blessing, because it takes extra to restore the brick, but at the same time, the brick will last forever if it's got a good base underneath it. Because y'all have seen the brick. Those bricks have been there for 80 years, 100 years. The problem is what's underneath it is the sand. So, other questions?
No bricks.
No bricks.
Northbound on Orange Avenue at Winter Park Street, there is a left turn lane, or a left turn signal, but there is no left turn lane. It's painted over as a restricted section.
No, Orange Avenue where?
Orange Avenue northbound, you're going past Rollins at the hospital, heading north, and you're at Winter Park Street where the Ivy is?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a left turn signal, but there's no true left turn lane.
That's at Winter Park. It's at Winter Park Street.
Yes, sir.
That was a modification that FDOT made when they moved the turn lane up at the major entrance farther up at the next light.
Well, the problem is, of course, people still, that's still, Winter Park Street's still a major access to that section of the neighborhood.
Right.
And people trying to obey the rules and not turn, you know.
They gotta stay in the lane.
They jam up a lane,
Yeah.
and it's causing a problem because people get anxious, they swerve out to get around.
That was the recommendation that DOT did, you know, that's a state highway from there, you know, from South Orlando all the way up through
Can't
Winter Park.
recommend that they change their mind.
Yeah, I'll ask him about it. I mean, it came to us a little bit of a surprise, but they looked at the numbers going down Winter Park Street, and they determined that the primary volume of those numbers were those that were going to hospital buildings, just on that side. And they felt like with the Rollins and the other street, they had access to get over there. And they made that recommendation, and we said, we don't like it. And they said, okay, fine. And so it's been that way now, what, 4 years, 5 years? Yeah, since they redid it. They're getting ready to redo it again. It may be a good excuse for me to ask them, they're getting ready to repave it and restripe it. Maybe I can get them to give us a little bit of a turn lane there. The main thing is getting guys off the road. I mean, I used to live off of Arthur Street. And so when you're going north on Edgewater, you gotta turn left on Arthur Street. There's a turn lane that turns into Bishop Moore. Well, it's against the law to use that turn lane to turn into Arthur Street, because it's a turn lane going the other way. So you literally, to obey the law, you have to turn from the inside through lane down Arthur Street. Now, the fact is, nobody ever does that. If nobody's around, they just kind of jump in the middle of the turn lane. So I'm trying to get them to just put, you know, the complementary arrows on both sides, so that you could go either way. I'll ask them about it, because they're getting ready to start some work in June on Orange Avenue that's gonna go from Winter Park border all the way down to Magnolia. So I'll ask them about it. Other questions? Yes, ma'am. Last question, because you guys have to eat.
Since we're talking about problems with streets, I'm on Mid-Iron Drive, and we now have a blockage where they put those sticks, I think they're rubber sticks,
No
so
left
that
turn.
the cars don't turn in. And I don't know if somebody just didn't like to do it, or, I mean, 3 of them are there and 2 of them aren't. The 2 that aren't give people room to make the turn.
So the markers are down? They're broken, okay.
The 2 are missing.
Okay,
The other 3 are still out.
yeah.
But what's happening is now the cars are making their way up Mid-Iron, which they shouldn't be doing. And the Amazon trucks are doing the same thing. And I don't mind stopping an Amazon truck to let them know, but I'm not going near a car to let them know. So, I don't know who, I've been trying to find whoever is in charge for those sticks. And I
It's
can't see.
transportation. Just send me an email and remind me.
Pardon?
It's our transportation department.
Gee, I have them on the phone and
Yeah.
they're telling me
Just send it to me. It's actually through the sign shop under transportation.
under transportation
Just send, I'll send
sign
them.
shop.
Yeah, just send it to me. Send me an email.
Okay.
And just remind me of where it is, and I'll make sure we get somebody to cover.
Okay.
That area, it's supposed to be a right turn only. It's a right in, right out
Right.
to keep the traffic down on Mid-Iron.
Right, so they're not turning into
what
Mid-Iron
happens
from
is that-
Minnesota.
yeah.
Because the street can't handle 2 of anything, only a
Right,
bicycle,
right, that's
a
the
car and a
reason,
bike.
the reason why we made that change was because of to cut the traffic way back, because it was becoming a real thoroughfare, trying to avoid Clay Street.
Yeah.
They were cutting through the neighborhood, and that
And
street shouldn't
safety,
handle that.
I mean, those golf balls go flying. And, I know that they're hitting the golf balls hard enough that they're flying over our roof and ending up in the backyard. I mean, if they hit a car.
It's not me.
Well,
I can't hit the ball that hard.
I have no problem with that, but, I have 100 golf balls.
But yeah, bring them by my house, because I lose more than that. Most of mine go in the water.
Yeah, so.
Send me a
anyway.
reminder email and I'll take care of it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Got it.
Thank you.
Well, thank y'all very much. I appreciate it. I never want to be here and not tell you how much I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Thank you all for that. Well, you all have a wonderful holiday season. So happy holidays, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, all the rest of them kind of come together. But I hope that your season is filled with peace and joy. So thank y'all very much.
I just want to say as he's heading for the door, how much we appreciate you always come with good information, and I myself appreciate that, I'm sure everybody does.
You'll appreciate that more when you're not president.
Okay. Next, right before we get to the Board of Directors election, I just want to take a minute personally and let you know, I can't believe 3 years has gone by. I never saw myself as president, but I've taken people like Dusty Sutton, Bill Jennings, Tom Cook, and I watched how they did it, and I tried to model myself that way. I said I wasn't gonna get choked up, but I am.
You could run
This-
again if you want. No, you can't.
No, there's two reasons, the bylaws and my wife, so. I just appreciate everybody's support. You know, Mark, you donated signs to help out. Where's Sue? Sue is there at every single event, or anytime I need help, she's like, what do you need me to do? I appreciate that. Elaine Hemrick is not here tonight, but I want to give her a shout out. She's responsible for putting out about half of the yard signs that you see. She goes to different businesses, gets permission. We lose one, she lets me know, I get her another one. She's great. And those are the things that helped me do what I did, so. With that being said, before I look any less manly up here, I'm gonna move on to the election. What I've asked is the board members that are coming back and the new board members that are on the slate, I've asked each one of them to just give us a 1 or 2 minute quick sort of explanation, who they are, what they like about College Park, and what they would love to see the CPNA do. So I'm just gonna start with Dusty. Let her, I guess I should bring you the mic.
Hey, I'm Dusty Sutton, and I've been on the board the last 3 years, I think. I was actually on the founding board of the Neighborhood Association with Grace Hagedorn in '87. Yeah, so I've been on and off the board, and I've been a CPNA member for all those years. I love College Park. I love to see how it grew. We originally started with Protect and Preserve College Park way back when they were putting the road in. That was the extension, Princeton extension. So we started with that, and we did accomplish, of course the road didn't get stopped, but we did accomplish that Princeton and Smith would remain residential. And big trucks are not supposed to be on Princeton and Smith. So that is something that we felt good about keeping, because at that time, people were trying to make Princeton houses commercial. So we stopped that, and that was the beginning of the neighborhood association, why we got together and started that. And so it's been great. I've been really involved in the historic part and was on the historic committee, and I, as well as Bill, are very sad about Grace. She was a great contributor to the history of College Park. And she wasn't even born and raised here. Like Bill said, she came from New Jersey, but she just has been just invaluable to the history, as well as Tana Porter too, of course. And I headed up the tour of homes, not this year, but the year last year. So I just love College Park, and that's why I serve on the board.
Thank you. Real quick interjection here. When they first came to me 3 years ago and said, hey, we need a president, and you're it. You know, so I hemmed and hawed, no, I don't think I can do it. And Dusty and Yolanda and a handful of other people said, look, we're willing to come back. We'll get back on the board. We're gonna help you. So that, I appreciate that very much. Dusty, I believe, said, I'll give you 1 year. And 3 years later, she's still here. Yolanda is another one. At one point, CPNA was actually down. We had 3 board members. It was Yolanda, myself, Dina Wild, and we, I don't know how we did it. We sort of kept it going, and then once we gathered all these other people, we came back, and I think we can keep going strong if we try. So here you go, Yolanda.
Okay. So my name is Yolanda Copeland. I've been, moved here about 6 years ago with my husband Bob, here in the Blue Shirt. And within, a few months, we found out about CPNA and joined. And then before I know it, I asked how could I volunteer, how could I help? And before I know it, I was a board member as well. And it's been with CPNA board since 6 years now. Because toughest year was the year of COVID, of course, and that's when we had the three board members there left. Anyway, so I'd love for CPNA to for this year, or next year actually, to grow. One thing, the board, we need more board members, we need more volunteers. We have our events that we normally do, which is Sunday at Park. We want to continue that, but we need more volunteers in order to do that. And so I think that maybe this year, and that's what we're thinking about, is working on trying to get more known that we are here, that we've been here since I think 87, and we would continue. So we need more members, more volunteers, and more board members. So I would like for this year, to have more of all those. And I think that's it. Thank you very much, and I'd like to stay on the board for another year.
Okay. Joe Siegel is our current secretary, and he's agreed he's going to stay on. Unfortunately, he is out of town and was not quite able to make it back tonight. So, but he is another one on the slate. I think I forgot to mention the slate is actually on the handout. So as we're going through this, if you want to follow along with the names, they are there. Next, I'm going to switch over to one of our newer people that have come on board, and we are so happy she's here already. And I'm not going to try her last name. I haven't perfected it yet, but this is Shani. I'll let you. Thank you.
Hi, Shani Orbigoso. So this year I'm joining as treasurer. I've been a College Park resident for 4 years. What I love about College Park is how convenient it is. It's close to everything. And even though it's part of a big city, it feels still like a small town. It has a small town feel. So yeah, I don't know too much about CPNA, so I just learned about it a few months ago. But I would love to see it grow more, like Yolanda said, and have it be promoted more. I think if it gets promoted, I think it will go. Yeah. So that's it.
Thank you. Some of you that know me will know the next person I'm about to hand the mic to, and the reason that I will no longer be on the board, I'm staying on CPNA, I'm gonna be at all events and helping out. But we do have one rule, that there's only one board member per household. So with that, Angela, would you like to say your piece?
Hello, I'm Angela, Michael's wife. We've been in College Park, well, I've been in College Park since 2002, and Michael and I have had 3 different houses, so obviously we can't leave the neighborhood. We've tried, and we just love it so much. And like Shani said, it's a small town feel, so I was on the board back in 2003, 2004, and then Michael's been on the board for, I think, 6 years, 7 years, something like that, a while. It's been more than that, 8 years maybe. So we've been very involved in CPNA. It's an important organization because of the events, but also little things, getting involved and giving our voice for the neighborhood to the city so they know what the residents want and what they feel about different things. So I've always been interested in volunteering with CPNA and doing things. So I'd like to continue that since Michael will be stepping off the board, and I'd like to come on.
And she is the one that had said she knows how many other things I'm trying to do and not well. So she said, look, you gotta take a break, step back and all that. So that's what made me make that decision. But then she stepped up, so. And it's funny, talking about me being president, I remember when I first met her, I came to some of the meetings and was watching the people I named before, never dreaming I'd be up here. So, the last person that I have is Lisa Wilstrup. You might recognize, sorry, I'm banging everything around. You might recognize that name. She's also on the board of One Heart, and we are lucky enough that she has enough time. She's going to join us and help us out. She is actually also out of town, and she wrote me just a short paragraph to read what she would have said if she'd been here. I've been a resident of College Park for 33 years. After my husband passed, I considered moving somewhere else in the Orlando area, but I never found a place with such a strong community and comfortable atmosphere. The house was demolished and a new one built on the same property. As a retired nurse with love for travel and science, I've been on 7 medical mission trips to Panama and will be going back in April for another. I'm on the board of One Heart for Women and Children, and I've opened a reading corner there to get the books to all, but especially to the young children. That's the type forward thinking that we want here, and so I'm very happy she joined. So let me make sure I got everybody, yes. So if you are a CPNA member, I'm gonna ask you we're gonna do a vote to approve this slate. Before I do this, is there any discussion or questions or? Yes.
What position is Angela running for?
We're running just for board members, and then once should be using the microphone.
Yeah.
Just tell them.
Once you notice I'm not hollering at her not using the mic because I'm being trouble. Basically, we elect a board, and then once that board is elected, they have a meeting and they will vote amongst themselves to put who is at what position. I can tell you she is interested in treasurer, and as soon as we found that out, there's nobody else. They're like, thank you, you're a blessing. So, but there will be a vote. Once there's a vote, if it's before the end of the year, I'll send out an email and social media about who is running what position. If it's after the first of the year, I'll let the president do it, whoever, I'm pointing at all of you. I am probably going to stay on doing the communications end of it, so it'll still be coming from me, but it'll sound like it's coming from them, so. That answer it? Yeah.
Is it per household or per person, the vote?
I looked, it used to be 1 per household. I looked at the bylaws right before I came here, and I actually have them printed out. And in the last change, I don't see that. I don't know, Dusty,
It should be-
Mark.
I think it could be 1 per member is fine.
Yeah,
but each member is available.
yeah. I was surprised it wasn't in there, but it's not, and that's what we approved, so.
Discussions, but I'm open to
The person in a household can vote.
Yes,
I believe that's correct.
that's how it's always been, so not saying that's right. Any other questions? Thank you, Mark, by the way. Yes?
I assume there's no limit to the amount of board members we can have?
Yeah.
There is.
We have to have at least the 4 officer positions plus 1. We have an upper limit of having 11 total. So we can have 7 additional. If you're interested, I'll sign you up. And I mean, seriously, if somebody is here and goes home and thinks about it, it is in our bylaws how we can add you like in a month or 2 months. So we do need the help. We would love the help. That's how we do the bigger events, is by having that support. So if anybody at home, you know, we still have positions and we'd be happy to have you, so. Any other questions? Okay. I am going to make a motion that we approve that slate. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mark seconded, and all in favor, and last discussion really quick. Okay, Sue's back to dancing, so I thought she had a question.
I thought you were gonna say all in favor.
Okay, now I am. All in favor, if you can raise your hand and leave them up, we're having somebody count for the minutes.
All members.
Yes, all members. Oh, you're voting for her because she's counting, so. Okay, you good? I'm sorry, Mike.
Did you want a picture?
Yeah, hurry. Can we get the hands one quick time? I keep forgetting to get things to put on social media, so. Sorry about this.
Okay,
Thank you. Okay. Now you got the arms warmed up to go grab the refreshments here in a minute. Anybody opposed to this, now raise your hand. I see none, so that is approved. And that ends the official part of our meeting, so thank you.
Are you gonna mention the 100-year party? 100-year party, did you mention it? The 100-year party. are you-
Yes, I've got a whole bunch of these.
Okay.
I got something to say.
Okay.
I speak now because of the fact that I was a president of a neighborhood association, and I am well aware of how much work it takes to be a president of this association. We may be small, but we're always running things off the copier. And I think it is only right that we acknowledge Michael. Michael came in a very difficult situation. Yolanda, Rachel, you were the thing, but you came in and recruited Michael, got Michael on the board, got us back on track, and we now have an active neighborhood association. And I would like us all to join in thanking Michael.
I appreciate it. Y'all gonna make me emotional, so. I have a few quick notes to run through here, and then we can officially break it up and go mingle. First one, I wanna update a few things on the CPNA events. We are not doing Sunday in the Park this coming spring. We don't wanna compete with the Historical Society, who's having an event literally a few weeks apart. We would rather support them in the 100th birthday party for the College Park. So come back in 26 and we'll be back stronger than ever, do Sunday in the Park. December 5th, Commissioner Stewart mentioned Holiday on the Drive, 5 to 9. Our friends over at College Park Main Street are the ones putting that on. We also try to support them. Tickets are now on sale. I should have this ready. Okay. There's a piece of paper out there. I thought I had one here, but I don't see it anymore.
Just Google College Park on your birthday.
Yes. It has gold around it out there. I think she's gonna go grab it for me. That has a code on it where if you wanna go to the party, you can buy a table for 10. You can buy individual seats. Thank you. This is what it looks like. I'll keep it up here after the party if anybody wants to hit that code and get more information about it. It is March 1st from 6 to 10. It will be in Dartmouth Park. Yes.
It's on the back.
That's right. I also put it on the back of the handout, which I don't have the two-sided one. So there's one copy there. There's a nicer copy here if you want to take a picture of it or get the QR code. I just want to support them however we can and help them out. Our next community conversations will be February 3rd, the first Monday in February here, same as it ever was, except with a new board. So we don't know who the speakers are. That'll come out in social media and email. So please be sure to visit our business members. They are also listed on the back right there. I do have some good news. After a lot of hard work, Barkhaven has now opened. Membership there for your favorite furry friend and their owner would make a great present. So you can do everything from a one-day pass to monthly, yearly. They have food, they have good drinks, and most importantly, a nice play area for the dogs to socialize. So please check them out. And they are one of our members. I just want to thank again all of our members on Facebook, you guys for coming here. It's always great for me to look out and see new faces, which I do tonight. And I know that more and more people are catching on to us being here, and I appreciate it. Last thing I want to do, there are a few board members that are stepping out at the end of the year. One of them is here, Mark. He was instrumental. Oh, there'll be time to clap in a second. I can run through his list. He was our treasurer for 2 or 3 years.
2 years.
2 years. He was instrumental in doing Sunday in the Park. I know I worked with him on that, and it was like running a marathon to keep up with him with everything he was on top of. And so I appreciate all your service. I'm gonna geek out. You made my dream come true. I finally was in a parade, thanks to you and your trailer. I've always wanted to be in one, and we were in the one and only College Park Christmas Parade. So just really appreciate all your time and effort. I wanted you to know that. Sarah Seeds, who as of this year's the vice president, she is another one that has done great things. She helped the Historical Society design their logo. She's helped us. I don't know if you remember a few years ago what the emails and what the social media looked like. And then all of a sudden, something happened. And it was nice to look at. And it was informative and exciting. That was Sarah. Sorry to say she's had to step down and tend to some other things, so you're going back to me. But I'm gonna try to not let it slide too far back. I just appreciate everything, and in my last minute on the mic, I wanted to say that for everybody. Are there any questions, or should we get the party in?
Let's start.
There you go. Have a good one. Thank you.
Well, I haven't worked for Google, I've worked for all of this. They will survive. Like I said, So for E, you can get together and start getting some things and notes and things passed over. I have your email address. Is that the best way to get in touch with you? Okay.
Tonight, when I was trying to look for the time of the meeting, there's nothing in the, on our, or I didn't see it, our CPNA website. Now, is that deliberate, just in case there's a different time?
No, because the signs all say 7 p.m.
No, I know the signs do, because I have one on my
So on
phone.
the website or the email that you got?
The website.
You might just have forgotten to put.
And I might have missed it. But I was like going crazy. Is it 6:30 or 7?
17, right?
I guess I could have just gone outside and looked at my sign.
Where does it have the,
That's my question.
I don't think we put it on the website. Do we? No.
I was like, where is it? It has to be here.
The website hasn't been touched in months
Oh, I
because
thought maybe it was deliberate in case I know you were doing 6:30, right?
No, because we don't even have anything about the meeting on the website at all.
if there is, it's old info.
Yeah, it's on the email that gets sent out and on the sign.
I only see Facebook. I haven't gotten an email all the years that I'm here. But I just thought I'd mention that. And there was one more thing I wanted to ask you about. And, oh yeah, how do I get on to see the meeting if I'm not here?
You go to Facebook, look for College Park Neighborhood Association, and it's right now.
Okay.
I didn't close it out.
And you take out everything with you?
Oh.